Hey, what's up everybody? It's Coach Matt over here, Primal Athlete Training Center, www.primalatc.com. Coming to you today with a little bit of a coaching cue, a coaching tip that I use with my throwers out at the circle. You see, one of the fundamentally, I don't want to say incorrect things, but one of those little pet peeves that I have is that when an athlete is first taught how to throw discus, basically what they're taught to do is move their arm really, really fast. So move the arm really, really fast, and the discus is going to stick to your fingers. It will stick to your hand. So centrifugal force, as you move the arm, the discus is going to stick. And that's all well and good until you start teaching the athlete how to turn out of the back of the circle. Because what we see a lot of times as they turn out of the back of the circle is that when they go to turn, they want to move their arm really, really quickly. And what happens is that they pull back, they move their arm quickly, and then the discus gets way out in front of the right hip. So as they drive down the circle, they're almost trying to catch up to the discus and throw. So instead of keeping the discus behind their hip the whole time, the discus is way out in front. They will actually throw the discus to assist in driving down the middle of that circle. And we all know that that's not really the way to do it. You've got to keep that discus back behind your hip, create that stretch as you drive down the middle of the circle. So how do we teach this? How do we show this to our athletes? This is one of my favorite things to do because it's one of those light bulb moments, like when I'm out at camps or when I'm out on the weekend working with a new athlete. It's one of those light bulb moments where it'll just pop up into their head and you can see that, oh, that makes total sense. What I have an athlete do is I have them take the discus and move their arm. And I ask them, okay, is the discus sticking to your hand? Yes, it is. Why is the discus sticking to your hand? Why isn't it falling down to the ground? Well, the force that my arm is making makes the discus stick to my hand. Exactly. Now, do this. Pull the discus back behind you and spin in a 360. Okay. Pull the discus back behind you and spin in a 360. Did you drop the discus? No. Why didn't you drop the discus? Well, because my arm was moving, and that's wrong. The arm isn't moving. Your body is moving. So the body moving creates the same amount of force and the same type of force as when you're just moving your hand. And what I found is that this really helps explain and really helps prevent when those athletes come onto the back of the circle and they throw the discus in front of them when they do their full throw, when they do the full technique. So hopefully this will explain to you, the coaches out there, a great way of teaching the athletes so that they're just not pulling back quickly and throwing with the arm in front of the hip. They can actually pull, move their body, and create the same amount of force when they release. And hopefully what it proves and what it shows to the athletes out there that are watching this is that as long as you're moving your body, as long as there's force being produced on the discus, it doesn't have to be force from your arm moving. It can be force from your body moving in front of the discus. You can trust that you won't drop the discus. You can trust that it's not going to fall to the ground. And you can run and move out of the back of that circle as quickly as possible without worrying about the discus dropping or falling on the ground. Guys, check it out. We've been giving you some last minute stuff about our camps that are happening. Western Pennsylvania is happening in July, early part of July. The camp is filling up quickly. We are about 60% full right now. Now, last year, 80% of the registrations that we received for the camp happened in the middle of June until the day of the camp. If that happens again this year, we are going to run out of space. So if you want to come to the camp at Allegheny College, Western PA, you need to sign up quickly. We are not going to have room. This is not one of these things where magically space is going to open up. The college has given us a certain amount of rooms, and we need to make sure that those rooms are full. We are not going to get extra rooms. They're not just going to build a new dorm for us to sit in. It's not going to happen. So once those rooms are full, the camp is full. Western Kentucky, we announced a couple weeks ago, and that is filling up quickly as well. Western Kentucky is sort of the western part of the state, obviously. It's right near Indianapolis. It's right near Nashville. It's in Bowling Green. Louisville is real close as well. So there's going to be a lot of bigger cities that are going to be sending kids to this camp. If you want to go to Western Kentucky, you need to sign up for that really, really soon. So make sure, take this tip out to the circle, try it out. See for yourself that discus is not going to fall out of your hand, and it's going to make it a lot easier to keep the discus behind the hip as you drive in that South African position, as you turn out of the back of the circle, as you mirror turn, and as you go to release, the discus can stay back behind your hip without any risk of it dropping down to the ground. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a comment or a question down below this YouTube video, or you can email me, matt@primalatc.com. Talk to you soon.